Well, hello, 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 my unstoppable lionesses. Here we are. God has been good and He has blessed us to see another day and transition through another week. And I'm excited. For those of you that may not know who I am your host, Dr. Coylette James. And oh my God, do I have a treat for you? I have Miss Sunita Hill with me. And Sunita and I have been on a journey for the past couple of months, her more so than me. I've been on it for the past couple of weeks, but we were in Speak, Sell, Shine in the cohort together in DC 2 weeks ago. So you guys heard me talking about DC and everything, but welcome, Miss Anita. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so very much, Dr. Collette. Thank you. This is an honor.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
just an
I
honor
am on a Miss Award winner. So, for all of you, Miss Anita won the award for Best Speaker on Women's Issues at
Mhm.
Speak Sell Shine. And I couldn't have been happier. I promise you. I could not have been happier because it could not have gone to a better person. Seriously. Girl, you are so amazing. You are so amazing. And I'm just so proud of everything that you are like now flowing into. You and I had a conversation. We had a few conversations in
Yes,
DC.
yes.
Okay. And Miss Anita was suffering from a little bit of procrastination when it came to her book. Talk to us, girl. Because wait a minute, let me start off by saying she done wrote the book, y'all. So in 2 weeks, okay. But anyway, talk about your journey.
Oh my gosh. It has. And when you say whirlwind, it truly, truly has been a whirlwind. And you're right. When I when we met, I had no idea that I would write a book. I was not ready. I thought, this book I thought the book had to be about me.
Mm,
However, the reclaim method that I have developed through Sunita M. Hill Consulting is about me. It is a real life process, that
absolutely.
application that anyone could use.
Mm,
So that's, I just had a different concept. And when we met, he was like, no, just, you sort of tapped me on my shoulder. He was like, no, you'll be all right. You're going to do it. And as a matter of fact, no one knew that I was going to do a workbook. But when we talked and you shared your workbook, you showed it to me. Here's my
mm,
workbook. Here's what I did. And I was
mm,
like, that's it. And you began to share just steps of confidence. Pour, let me not say share. You poured in steps of confidence into my soul
mm,
that said, okay, Sunita, you can go forward. And the other piece of sharing with people who you are personally will come one day. But today, you can share your reclaim method about the process that Sunita M. Hill Consulting presents to people. And it is all about leading with impact. So
mhm.
that is the reclaim method. And anyone who wants to look into it or talk about it, because it's all on my website. You can download it. It's a free. Right now we have a free snapshot of the
Mhm.
toolkit. You can go out and get it. But I can talk about the reclaim method if you like, or
Please. Yes,
I can
inquiring
talk.
minds want to know.
So the reclaim method, Sunita M. Hill Consulting actually was birthed out of a need for out of a need that came from my nonprofit. So Sunita M. Hill Consulting is strategic leadership for individuals and corporations to help individuals and teams move from being stuck or from move from a place of a concept to something that is real.
Mm,
And we do it with the reclaim method. And the reclaim method is all about, and I'll go through the processes. It is about one, research. I'll give you the acronym. The acronym is reclaim, but it is first about research. And for the mature people, when we talk about research, I know immediately what comes to mind is academia.
mhm,
That is not the research we're talking about. That is not the research that I use. What I had to look at was the research that had been gifted to me throughout my throughout my career, throughout my life. there had been research that I had been doing that I didn't even know that he was preparing me for.
I need you to
That's
back
the
up. I
research.
need you to say that again because
Yes,
so many people feel that they have nothing to offer
absolutely.
and they do not understand how powerful just their story is, how powerful their life experiences truly, truly are. So go back one more time and
That
describe research once again.
research is in this, and when I'm speaking research, it is not academia. We're not counting it out, but it is not the whole thing. Research is your life experiences, all the things that you have done throughout your life that help you to get to where you want to go. You don't even know they're there. You just, and we're going to uncover that through the reclaim method, but that's what the research is all about. It is looking at the culmination of your life, that all those things that you didn't even think counted, that counts. And I'll give an example. When I first started out in my career, first of all, I didn't even know that I grew up in a neighborhood of entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
That was one thing. I just thought they were working families. I thought that
Wait a minute,
everybody,
and you started working when?
oh, probably, I want to say I started working at 13.
Exactly. In your family's business. And it did not click that, oh, they're entrepreneurs, right? They got a
Do you
business.
know what I mean for that? When we talk about when did I start working? Oh, when I started working was when my mother said, "You all are gonna fix those daggone I always forget the name of the carnations. You're going to create paper carnations and you're going to go door to door and you're going to sell them. And carnations, although paper at Mother's Day, they were important. You spray them with perfume, you make them. They were white, black, red. And you had to knock on doors and you sold them for a nickel. So
Mhm.
I learned early on to make money, how to make money. I did not know that. Nor did I know that the neighborhood that I grew up in, my grandparents, each one of them had their own, they were workers, what I thought. Today, I know they were entrepreneurs,
They had
the
their own
whole
business.
community. So I just thought they were just instilling into me work ethic. Go to work, keep your mouth shut, do blah, blah, blah. Here I am years later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the light goes on because I had to apply the reclaim method to myself in order to get here. So when we move from research, there we go. When we move from research, then we go into, I think it was, we go into engage.
Okay.
And then you start to look for people that, and in researching, you're also going to identify people, but then you start to engage with the people that you have that you want to do something with, people who are out there. How do you reach out to them? How do you begin to talk, you and I? How do we get this movement? I can say hi, Carla. We could have left it right there,
Mhm.
walked away, but there has to be an engagement. It has
Right.
to be intentional. So
Right.
there, we move from engagement into communication. Communication, listen to what's being said, not listen to what's being said and what's not being
Mhm.
said. Again, I'm gonna continue to use our experience sitting at that table that night because it was a busy night. We were exhausted.
Yes.
Um, but that night, there was communication that was
Mhm.
intended for me, communicating about books. I couldn't even tell you, authors. All I knew, I'll talk about the communication. Had I not been communicating and listening, because that's the next one, was that there were authors. The room was filled with authors. I
Filled.
knew, I knew
Filled.
I was not. I probably was the only one who was not an author in the room, and I came with a preconceived notion that I was not going to author a book. That I was not going to be. But had I closed my mind and not talked, engaged, communicated, or listened, we wouldn't be having the discussion about the book that's getting ready to launch for me.
Right.
So there we go. That's all a part of reclaim. And then we move from listening and getting feedback. Listening is not a two-way. I go back to listening. It's not a one-way
One
uh,
way. It's two ways.
street. It's
Yeah.
two ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listening to what's being said, that's the communication, what's being said, what's not being said.
Mhm.
Listening with your eyes. Sometimes you got to listen with your eyes closed so that you can hear
Absolutely.
everything, so that you can
Absolutely.
feel the space. So all
Mhm.
of those things, those are tools that we just need to learn how to practice and use. So then when we get into the apply, it's how do I test it? How do I tested. And not just what I think it is. Where do I bring in my mentor, the persons that I gathered along the way? Because they're going to tell me, yes, this works, this doesn't work. And I'm going to have to go back, I'm going to have to listen, I got to communicate, I got to engage. So all of those steps have to come right back in so that I can begin to implement it. And once I implement it, because in my application they telling me, Sunita, that's not work, tweak it here. But when I get ready to implement it and I'm ready to launch it,
Mhm.
it's everybody. We're all there. We're there, and it was because the team told me, they shared with me, and I did the work up front.
Mhm.
And after we implement it and it's ready to rock and roll, it's mentorship. Mentorship is so big, like from my heart. I just believe in mentorship. Um, and so if you did the process right, you gained a mentor in research, but you may not have called it a mentor. And you should have used your mentor when you applied it, when you did your application, so that you could test it. They should have been
It
right there
all
with
tied
you.
in
I love
together.
and then in the end, you got to reach back and give it to somebody else. All of this is not just for you. This is so that we can
Legacy.
continue to pass it on. So that is the reclaim method. It is helping us to move from doubt to clarity and in the end, make an impact. That is my leadership model. How can we lead with impact? And the only way I feel like we can do it is through my use or through me sharing the reclaim method. How do you get a mentor? Many of us don't even know what a mentor is, but you got one somewhere. And then how do we just enclose this
You
whole
didn't even recognize it as such. Do you
exactly?
know, like, okay, yeah, because I'm always sharing my age, but I just turned 69 a week ago. And
Looking
I
fabulous.
personally, like, literally sought out and paid for mentorship last year for the first time. For
Wow.
the very first time. But it was just like the person that I chose as my mentor was somebody that had been mentoring me from afar for years. I had read all her books. You know what I'm saying? I done studied her. It's Dr. Cindy Trim. So I done studied her prayer
Okay.
methods. I done, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I am in it. I done volunteered at her events. I'm just like, so she was mentoring me from afar. But there came a time when God spoke to me and made provision for me to do it, that where you're going, you need one on one.
Absolutely.
It's not just from afar anymore. You need to be poured into and you need to
Absolutely.
become the student because my fivefold calling is a teacher.
Mm,
So I'm always pouring out.
mm.
I'm always teaching. But he's like, you need to become the student and be
Yes.
taught and poured into so that as you
Mm,
elevate properly.
yeah.
And for me, it's like you have to know the call of God that's on your life. And for
Mm,
me, I know my call is global. So I needed a global mentor. I need somebody that's trafficking in the spaces where God is taking me. And that's so important. So and I'm sharing this because I love your reclaim method. I love that. I think though it's really, really vital that people understand. Like I said, you've probably been mentored for years. Now, I had a spiritual mother for 22 years before she passed. She was, in essence, a mentor because she was training me in the ways to be a woman of God. My own mother, who was a firecracker,
mm,
trained me how to be a tough, strong woman.
mm.
Okay, but
Yeah.
then there needed to be that switch in my life. Like I'm like I am that girl.
Yeah.
Okay, like you just don't want to back me in a corner. It won't be good. Okay. However, I needed to know how to have that spiritual strength and
Yeah.
how to reel in that street strength.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So when
Yeah.
there's transition, you need different people. And I'm saying this on purpose because I think people need to be reaching out to you because you've had to walk the experiences that you have walked so that you can help them understand the experiences that they go through.
Yes, and that is the consulting portion. I tell you,
Mhm.
consulting, it was okay. This is what we're doing. Really in my head, it's like, this is. And he was like, yes. And let me just say, I would be remiss if I didn't say that I only move on the Spirit of God. I believe he speaks to me. My family will tell you in a heartbeat, do not let this woman go to sleep. If she goes to sleep, it's going to be a problem because he speaks to me in my spirit, in my
Mm.
sleep.
And you
And I
sleep.
know that.
Mm.
And so most days I share that with all of this, it comes by way of through him. And I know that. So,
I
and when
have
you
to tell you
say,
this. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to tell you this because this is
good,
so important. So I was just at a retreat this weekend, right? And one of the young ladies that spoke, beautiful, beautiful spirit. She's in her 30s. She's finding her way. She's got a family, husband, children. But her complaint was, and this is why I'm sharing this, was that God will speak to me in my dreams and in sleep, but why won't he talk to me during the day? And it's like you have to understand the language that you have with God. And literally, God is talking to us all the time, but sometimes we have to be in that place of rest to hear.
and I'm
So
just
for
going to
you to
say,
do the flip side and say, yeah, I know God talks to me when I go to sleep. I know what's going on. That's awesome.
know it. I
Awesome.
know it. And even that when you talk about that wrestle, like I am not quick to anger. I'm not, I can be, but even that, the clarity comes in
Mm,
my sleep. It
mm,
comes when I sleep.
mm.
We could be talking and I'm gonna fall asleep right on you right now because he got something to talk to me about. And that's what I believe.
Wow.
But
Wow.
when he speaks, I have to be obedient. And
Mm,
so when I talk about, I'm going to shift because when I talk about leading with impact, um, a lot of people don't know they say they want to make impact, but they don't know what the impact is. And that is what the goal is. As a
mm,
project manager, for 20 something years in the federal government, when I came in, I had mentors, women mentors, a woman mentor. It was a time in the government when it was led by men. So
no.
it was led by men and women were compromising. So I had to make a decision
Mm,
as a young woman. I did not want to compromise. I didn't want to compromise and I wanted to learn. So let's learn and let me get it from where I can. If this is one woman and she ended up, I can call her my sister today, but she was my mentor. She set me down and she shared these things with me. And so as time went on, I knew that it was project management that I wanted to do. And I grew in that. And I say all of that because my mind just went right out the window. But I say all of that because with project management, it helped me to learn how to lead from with the impact. What's the end goal?
mm,
Where do you want
mm,
to go?
mm.
I I share with people that know the government, or if you don't, contracts is more just put the money on a contract, and then we get the work done. I'm not that person. I'm the person with don't put that money on the contract till we see what we're getting. What do we want? And it's the same thing in
What's going
life.
to be the end goal?
What's the end goal? What's the end goal?
Right.
What do you want to do? And that's where I am. So that's where I am. And I had to look at that with Reclaim. So, and with Sunita M. Hill Consulting, what's the end goal? And I call it SMH for short. But what's the end goal? And let us help you get there. That's
Mm,
the consulting part. So when I talk about the end goal, or the impact, measurable impact, end
mm,
goal, what's the impact? Um, from impact, my impact was Peace on Patuxent, which is a respite home for women diagnosed with life-leveling cancers.
mm,
I started a nonprofit for women, a place where women could come and rest for 2 days or a day to just think about how they want to run their journey. That was the impact. So that was the impact that he whispered into my soul. And it's it's so to me, I laugh now. It's my property. I thought I was going to retire, sell a house, move into at like the Jeffersons, move on up with a
uh-huh,
doorman, blah blah. I was going to do all of that. And he woke me up in the middle of the night and he was like, "You've been doing the work. You will not, the house that you live in, you will turn into peace on Patuxent." That
Mm.
is what you will do with the property. And I was like, but wait a minute, I just bought new furniture. He said, that's not your furniture. I said, but I just remodeled. He said, that's not for you. And every day I would question him. You're saying, I just bought, he said, that's not yours. And I was so blue on the inside, like, so I'm not gonna go to the, no, you're not.
You're not
No,
going to the east side.
you're
Meaning
not.
you're gonna stay right
You're gonna stay
here.
right here and you're gonna do this work because you have done the work.
Hmm.
And so Peace on Patuxent is a respite home for women. I did not want, I also say when I started out, I didn't want to be a colored African American business.
Hmm.
And he spoke to me and he dealt with me and he said, they need to see your face. Because folks, African American women, Indian women, Asian women, Latino women, French women, they don't have but one place to go. And where they go does not look like them. And you will represent us, the ethnic women. And I was like, okay. So it has been a lesson. Peace on Patuxent, women can stay. They come, it's like I tell people it's like a bed and breakfast. If they come overnight, we send a limousine to pick them up, door to door. We're in the metropolitan area in DC, and we're in the suburban areas of DC, but we send in our local commuting area, we send a limousine to pick them up to stay for 2 nights. And if they come for a day retreat, they can come and stay for the day. Either way, there's an activity that occurs. It is yoga, meditation, mindfulness. It is to allow that woman to just sit, think, and decompress from being diagnosed.
How do you
Once
process all of that? God, because women
all
go
at
through
no
so
cost,
much
all at no
at
cost.
no cost. At
At
no
no cost, absolutely. And
man.
so that's where, after doing all of that, um, because I had been self-funding the nonprofit, it was okay. Okay, Sunita, I know that I tell everyone the nonprofit is my partner, my business partner, as we know, in a nonprofit is the federal government. That is my business partner.
Mm,
I also know that there will come a time when I will hand off this nonprofit and I will move on. So the moving on was you're making an impact
mhm,
now, and you will continue. This Peace on Patuxent is the impact.
mhm,
But you've done this. You've done it because tell me why you did it, Sunita. Let me show you how you did this.
mhm,
You did this using the reclaim method. You did this because I poured it into you. So
mhm,
whenever when I talk about Sunita M. Hill Consulting, I have to talk about the impact because it's measurable.
mhm,
Every woman, I have not met a woman, or a woman has not come through our doors who has not said that she needed this and didn't know she needed it, who is still thanking me for it. I don't know. I didn't even realize we had grown. We now have employees. I didn't know that we were growing. These women are out here that are diagnosed with fourth stage cancer that make it. They come back and like, we're working for you. We're going to get on the front line and we're going to tell every woman about Peace on Patuxent. Um, that they can come. Not only do they come in a limousine, they get a red carpet, they get a crown when they come, they
oh,
are fed, they are treated like queens. So it is such an experience for them. And then it becomes a community. When they walk away, that group that came
mhm.
that particular weekend,
They stay
they
connected.
now have a community and
Mhm,
they go on. They've gotten married. They've taken each other to church. They communicate without us. And
mhm,
we do not require medical because we're not affiliated with any hospital or any doctors. We don't require insurance. We don't require a social worker to tell them that they have to be referred. It
mhm.
is cutting the cord so that they can come. And
So
they
are all
cannot.
of your referrals just by word of mouth?
Basically, most
Wow.
word of mouth and through the social workers will talk about it or they can share it,
Mm,
but they don't have to go through a social worker.
mhm, Mhm.
I believe, and one of the things about peace on Patuxent and my belief, and why we cut the cord between the family and the hospital is that the medical team can make or break a woman's treatment.
Mm.
If they feel like because she doesn't want to do chemotherapy or radiation, if
And
somebody
if
feels
it's
like
so bad, like,
right, if they feel like that, or because you're not feeling your best, and they feel like you're a non-compliant patient, that information follows that patient through her whole journey.
wow.
Never mind, never mind. And I'm not a medical expert, but I've been through the process. I've been through it with my mom and with my best friend. But never mind that we all don't respond to treatments the same way. So if a woman doesn't feel good and don't want to do something,
Mhm.
respect her position. Not every woman wants to even take chemo. So there's a
Period.
whole
Mm.
what they say bias within the community. If you don't take chemo, it's just like, hey, stop. Allow this woman a moment, someplace to go and think about how she wants to run her journey.
Right.
And then
Because it's her
us,
journey.
it's
That's what
her
they fail
journey.
to understand.
Right.
It's like it's happening to her,
Absolutely.
right?
But
It's like everybody has opinions, but it's happening to
to her. Absolutely. And even our family members. I'm a daughter and I had a mom and I had my own expectations. I had to take her to the doctor and I would tell her every day, okay, never mind. She had it's 5 days a week, but you got 5 doctor's appointments. I'm going to drag you because I want you to run your race my way.
mm,
Well, today I would go back and be like, whatever you want. And not because she's gone, but because we never asked her, what do you
what
want?
do you want? Yeah.
And respect that. And
Right.
we just respect it. Or let me take you to Peace on Patuxent. So you can just go, because
So
that
you
is a
can just
gift.
de-stress.
That's a gift. So
You can
yes,
just
that's
be you. That's what I love
absolutely.
about your program. You
Absolutely.
allow them a moment to just be
Absolutely.
who they are.
That is true. That is true. That is peace on Patuxent. So that's measurable impact. That's leading with impact. That is listening,
Mhm.
um, listening to your mentors, listening to the voice of God for me,
Mhm.
and allowing people listening to him to say, go back and look at Reclaim because you can do this. You've done this. Now you can do the Reclaim method. But peace on Patuxent is impact. It's measurable impact and it's leading with impact. It's real life.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I watched you because, and you would think this is the honest to God truth. This is when you know it's a kingdom connection because you would think that we've known each other for years, and we met for the first time at the event, like the welcoming dinner or hors
Yes.
d'oeuvres or whatever. It was dinner for us, man. Everybody was
Yeah.
chowing down on them hors d'oeuvres, like I'm hungry.
Pass the plate there. Yeah.
But the fact that, and like you said earlier, it's like God set us together.
Yeah, he did.
He did that. And you can always, I know for myself, I'm very sensitive to kingdom connections, and I can tell when that's what it is because
Mhm.
there's a different kind of camaraderie between us.
Yes.
You know, and I remember meeting your family on the day we were speaking at the Howard, and you were like, "This is my friend." It's like, and it was like so genuine. But and
Right.
literally you would have thought we've known each other for years.
Yes.
We've known each other 2 days. But
Yes.
we had that connection,
Yes.
you
Absolutely.
know? It's
Absolutely.
amazing. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. I
Yes.
love your story. I love the fact that you you shifted, you transitioned. You didn't let things that you were going through and situations and circumstances that happen say, oh, woe is me, and what am I going to
Oh
do?
gosh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
You
was.
transitioned. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. I believe it was you that said when they said the layoff, you were like, okay, bye. I got
Ah,
stuff to do.
right. I'm like, "Huh, I gotta go." Tell you, the day we got the call, the day they announced it, Pam had called me. I could not, I'm gonna just talk about God. I could not. get to my job. We were supposed to have been shutting down, and it was a shutdown process. You have to go through this whole thing to be furloughed. So we were supposed to have been doing this. And I tell you, I could not get to this location. I don't went to three different train stations, drove 45 minutes. Now I'm getting
Oh,
ready to get into
wow.
the garage so that I can get on the train and get down. Oh, it was just a mess. And I get to the garage and this call comes in and it's Pam, Dr. Pam Perry.
Mhm.
And she is calling to talk to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And when she finished the conversation, my mouth was open. And then she says, "So you're not affected by this layoff, this furlough, are you?" And I said, "Pam, I'm on my way into the office to tell them I'm on my way in the office. I just pulled over to talk to you. But I wanted here to turn in my stuff, do the regular thing. I am furloughed." I went in seamlessly and did everything I needed to do and walked right back out. I got to go because Speak Sell Shine is calling me. I
I got something to do.
to see y'all.
I love it. I
So
love it.
that's it.
We we take things for granted, okay?
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. People forget how strategic God is. We
Oh,
put him in this box. We want to look at him like a mere man, and he is not.
mm-mm,
This
mm,
is the entity that created the cosmos, and we're still, as people, discovering his creation. All
yeah.
right. He's that strategic. He hung the sun, the moon, the stars, right? Made a planet that we could breathe oxygen on. I mean, this is how strategic God is. It
Yes.
was not by happenstance that you got that phone call on the way in to say adios.
Right.
Because God was just showing you, hey, this is where you were. This is where you're going.
And she was calling to say, Snita, who are you bringing to the thing? Are you bringing? I was like, because we never got any instructions. I said, ma'am, you didn't say we could bring anybody. So I knew then from that call, oh, I can bring my family. She was like, the house there is big. You can bring. I was like, because I wasn't sharing it. You
Mm,
know, again, this is such new. This was so new for me. I just wanted to as I told everyone, I just wanted to put my name in the box so that, and not put my name in the box, but when I met Dr. Perry, Pam Perry, I didn't meet her. I was um I was watching Afro. She did an interview on Afro,
mm,
and on Afro, she mentioned the keyword mentorship.
mm,
She liked mentors. Now, I just happened to be coming back from speaking at the National Urban League Conference.
mm,
I'm like, okay, so Sunita, you got to keep moving because there's more, but you got to find it. And
right.
that's how I went searching, found Afro, started watching the Afro, reading the Afro, and then there was an announcement for the awards. So I put in the awards for Peace on Patuxent. I had no idea. I had no idea what any of this meant. I just knew that one, Peace on Patuxent for us as a whole
Mhm,
needed to be recognized.
mhm,
I needed to, and I believe, and that was part of, to me, uh, SMH, Selenium Hill Consulting, was that you can do this, because I had to
mhm,
pray about it. You can do this, but
mhm,
you will honor Peace on Patuxent with your voice
mhm,
and
mhm.
in the platform. You will
Because you
do it.
are the brand.
Yes, you will
You
do it,
are the
but you will
brand,
honor
right?
it. Yes. And
Right.
and so when you talked about, not to just jump back and forth, but when you talk about the kingdom, one of the things that without bawling in tears over here, one of the things that I can talk that I heard when we talk about we knowing that he is God and that he is there. It was like he had to tell me, you take a look at oh my gosh, because I'm not a quoter, but he said, take a look at when the brothers threw him in the well. And
Oh,
he
Joseph.
when he threw
Put him in the
Joseph,
pit.
they threw
They
him in
threw
the
him in the
pit.
pit. Joseph,
Threw him in the pit.
yes.
Joseph had a dream because I have to talk about the dreams. It
Hmm.
wasn't for every that dream wasn't for everybody. He Joseph went and told, and he threw him in the well. But nonetheless, he had the dream, and that's what God spoke to him.
Mhm.
Now, look at where he was when he finally became king and when he became who he was. Let's talk about reclaiming and understanding your purpose. And
Mhm.
that's when I told people most days, I told my team and my board of directors, and most days they don't see that I am face down, prostrate to the floor, over here bawling because he is always working on me, always using me and always talking to me. And so for that, I have to be obedient. I have to always be careful. And
Yeah.
so when I said friend, truly, I meant it because that is not a word that comes out of my mouth. It was, again, it was a God-given thing. But in all those things, he shows me, he points me to this. And he continues to arrest that person back there, but he shows me what I've learned in my research. So I just wanted to say thank you, Colette. Dr.
Listen, girl, please. I am who I am. I am me. I am so serious. Like it has a nice ring to it. Like I put in the time to get it. But I was even at the retreat this weekend. It was just like, listen, we're not here for pretense. Like I'm Quaylette, I am Dr. Quaylette James, but I am Quaylette. And if you get stuck on the Quaylette, just call me Coy because everybody else does. It's like, and I'm cool with it because that was my daddy's name. So that's how I got my name. So I'm good.
Love it.
It's like we we can't get caught up in the titles or the positions that God puts us in. It's like
Yeah.
right now you are riding just a wave, which
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
so amazing. But we had this conversation a couple of
We
days
did.
ago, and it's
We
like,
did.
baby, you got to strike while it's hot.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
He opened up a window. You go through it
Yes,
and you be all
absolutely.
that he called you to be in it.
Yes.
We got what? Okay, we've been on here 37 minutes, so we only got what, 12 minutes to go. But here's
Mercy.
the thing. I tell
Okay.
people that we walk in false humility. And the reason I say it's false because we buy into a lie. We buy into a lie. Like, yes, you're supposed to be humble, but you are still supposed to be confident in who God called you to be. It has nothing to do with being arrogant. It has nothing to do with being conceited. None of that.
Right.
All you need to know, though, is who did he say you were? And you walk in that. You walk in that boldness. This is who God said I am. This is what God told me to do. Now, he may not have told you the same thing. Again, it wasn't a conference call, it was
Yes.
personal. It wasn't a party line. If you remember back in the day, I'm old enough to remember back in the day, they had
We
parties.
do.
You could be talking and hear somebody else talking. It's like, who is that? Okay. No,
We
it was
do.
a personal call and a purpose put on your life. So you have to stand up in that and walk in that. And sometimes we get so used to being in the background and pushing everybody else and being there for everybody else that when it's time for us to step out, like you said, you were nervous. It was like, no, boo, this is where you're supposed to be. That's what God called you to be. Step in it, own your space,
Thank you.
own your space,
Done deal.
because that's your sphere, that's your space.
Yes.
So
Thank
reclaim it.
you. Got it. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I love it. We can talk to you. You know we can talk.
Yes.
We
Yes.
can talk.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm so excited. And when I think about all that we encountered in 3 days' time in DC, it was just like, wow. And like, you were on this high because it was just like, oh my God. We got our makeup done every day. Like we were like these models and things, right? And photo shoots and all of that. And it was such an amazing experience. I think the one thing that stood out in my mind so vividly is when we got to the Howard Theater and walked in and saw all of our posters,
Oh
like
my gosh.
huge posters, like with our face and our name and speaker and rising star. car. And it was just like, oh my
My
God.
God.
Like, this is real, y'all. This is real. It was amazing. Mine is on the easel in my foyer. When you walk in my house, there's my sign, y'all. But it
Yeah.
was such an amazing experience. But God gives us those experiences for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Pam, Dr. Pam is such a phenomenal publicist and encourager and just a builder of the people that she does everything in a spirit of excellence. And she creates that ambiance for you to do exactly what I said a few moments ago, and that step out in who God created you to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
She,
that's what's so important. That's what's
yes.
so important. So we got 5 minutes. I
Okay.
want you to talk to the ladies, and I want you to help them to get into that place
Okay.
to reclaim who God said they are. Because we as women, we forget who we're supposed to be. We
Yes,
done took care of the kids, we done took care of hobby, we done took care of the parents, we done took care of everybody but
yes, yes. Doubt, 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 doubt. And I said it earlier, I did not get here. There was a voice of doubt.
us.
And when we talk about my story and I talk about women, one of my jobs, one of my earlier jobs was working in a laundry and not a regular laundry, like a hot laundry where you do napkins and uniforms and you stand on that press and that dang one thing is hot. And that was one of my jobs. But I
I
learned.
lasted 5 days. I don't know how long you were there, but I did that at 18 years old. I lasted 5 days. My feet and legs swelled up. I couldn't do it.
I
I ain't
said,
gonna lie. I moved back home because I couldn't do it and went to beauty school. I was just like, I can't. I can't.
a long time and thought I was going to become a manager and I was going to be a shop steward and tell them that they needed to wear, they need to give us some pants because we
Mm,
had to do all this with a dress. But
mhm,
anyway, so so from laundry to here to
mm,
sitting on your show, it
mm,
was not, it was not a cakewalk, but that laundry taught me tenacity. It taught me something. I had to go back through it with the reclaim method. Um, my website is Sanita M Hill Consulting.
mm,
There is a toolkit, a free download. Go there. We can talk. I got 30-minute consults. I believe I got 20-minute free consults that we can talk. And if you know someone who wants to come over who is going through life leveling cancers and just want to reach out and see what it is that we can do from wherever you are, email me and I can get you to the right place. Peaceonpatuxent.org. We are on Facebook, uh, Instagram. Go to YouTube. Peace on Patuxent has its own YouTube channel. I am so proud of these women, of the women who speak on behalf of Peace on Patuxent. They are not actors; they are real women who have been through life leveling cancers journeys, still going through because it never ends.
mhm,
So peace. So that is Peace on Patuxent. If you know someone, but if you want to move from doubt to clarity and you want to make an impact, but you don't know what the impact is, or you think you got an idea, email me. Just
mhm,
email me, set up some time. We can begin the process.
mhm,
That's how we move into making an impact. There is so many places that impact can be made
mhm,
in our communities, in and out of our communities. Right now, the federal government is shut down, and this is an absolute great time to shift positions and make an impact. Um, I,
especially if you're one of the 300,000.
yeah, all these businesses, we bake cakes, there is so much we can do. But in the doing, make sure you're making an impact. Other than that, we're just being busy.
Amen. I love it. You see our motto, an empowered woman empowers the world.
Amen. Yes,
have to make sure that you're empowered so that you can leave a legacy and you can pour into the next generation. We
absolutely.
got more little daughters and nieces, and we got to pour into our little boys too, but
Mhm.
we're unstoppable lionesses, and
Yes,
there is
right,
a
right
reason
now.
that we are a lioness. And I'm out of time. Thank you so much,
Yep.
Anita. I'm so grateful to have had you on the show. We're gonna have to do this again.
And absolutely. Thank you
We're
for
gonna have to
having
do
me.
this again.
Enjoy.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
It has
All
been
right,
wonderful.
lionesses, if Lord willing, I will